All right, we're on. Okay, I'm back. 2 weeks. Catching back up to the last video that I uploaded goes all the way back to, covers up to Sunday the 28th of May. Now today is the 11th of June. So we've got 2 weeks to go through, and quite a bit of stuff has kind of happened within those 2 weeks, which is partly the reason why I haven't uploaded. Right after my last video upload, that long run I did on the Sunday kind of put me into a bit of a hole and beat me up a fair bit more than I kind of anticipated that it would. So starting out the following week on the Monday, I kind of ticked away as planned, but soon realized that the load within my legs and just generally how I was feeling wasn't quite where I thought it would be. So last week ended up becoming kind of a bit of an unplanned down week, and that's cool. I kind of knew at some point throughout this build and this block that was going to happen. So I think I've done the right thing, and I've recognized that that's happened, and I pretty much flagged that whole week. Not completely. I still kept moving around and tried to kind of do what I could, but overall, my body wasn't really up to the task of a big training week. So I recognized that and tried to play it as smart as I possibly could, and just almost switched off for that whole week in regards to big sessions and trying to cram or trying to get the most out of that week. So I won't go too much through that week, but we can see here that a lot of green is missing, a lot of red, orange, and yellow. Over that weekend where that I touched on my last video, over that weekend I started to get a little bit sick, so my throat was a bit sore and just in general not feeling overly that great. And I kind of pushed on through it because I didn't feel like it was dragging me down at all. Just kind of felt a bit off. So I pushed through it and kind of hoped I'd come out of it within a few days and start to feel all right. But well, as it turns out, I didn't. So that kind of contributes to this kind of week here that's a bit all over the shop. In addition to being sick, kind of navigated my way through a bit of a nagging hip injury as well. Now this injury has flared up a few times in the past, and it's always when load starts to get quite high. Having been through that a couple of times where I've recognized a small bit of muscular tightness or strain in my hip and groin. I've been there a couple of times and I've ignored it and completely destroyed everything and kind of just ruined all my training. So I'm super aware of that stuff now. So Monday morning last week, kind of had a little bit of a niggle in the hip there. Was very cautious on it. The following morning, on the Tuesday, I still ran a good session. So we'll click into that one and have a look. So Monday was just recovery ride and some easy stretching in the afternoon. The only session I'm really going to touch on for this week is this here Tuesday session, and then I'll kind of just have a bit of an overview of how I approach the rest of the week, because I think it's still important to go through that, and how I kind of navigated a bit of sickness and got myself back on the right track. Strengthened the hip up. So Tuesday morning, I still did a session. I planned 4x5K, and I ended up completing 3x5K and 2x2K. So I did 19Ks worth of work, marathon pace. Was kind of just monitoring that hip the whole time. My throat was still a bit sore and stuff, but I kind of just did it anyways and used my best judgment to ensure I didn't completely put myself into a hole. Clicking our way through this one. It was very, very cold this morning from memory. Now, I haven't got any training footage from the last 2 weeks, so this video is just me yapping about my sessions and kind of how I approached the last couple of weeks. I've just been, with it being dark early, the sun's not coming up until late. Camera footage is a bit shitty anyway because I'm just essentially starting and finishing in the dark with these early sessions. So I haven't got any footage from training at all. But that's cool. That's not why you're here. So lap 1, I did easy warm up, 11, just short of 12 minutes, 5:11 average heart rate 126. 5K first rep 19:37, so 3:55 average heart rate 155. Short 4-minute walk / jog recovery. So between these efforts, really trying to just reset for each effort. So it's a easy jog, short little bit of a walk, easy jog. So yeah, 4 minutes at 8:17 average. So it's a bit of walking, a bit of jogging. Get that heart rate back down. 5K rep number 2, 19:29, so 3:54 average heart rate 161. So just locking in that zone. Same again for 4-minute recovery, 8:11 per K, so proper walk, little jog, reset for the third rep. Rep 3, 5K 19:26, so 3:53, average heart rate 163. After this rep, I could feel myself just starting to get a little bit sloppy midway through. So instead of banging out another 5K rep to make 4 5s, made the decision on the fly to drop the 4th rep and kind of split it up into 2x2. So I'd done the long run on the Sunday, 36K. Didn't run at all Monday, just went for an easy ride and then straight into this session on the Tuesday. In hindsight, that kind of window for 2 big sessions was probably just a little bit tight, combined with kind of a small inkling of an old injury flaring back up in the hip. So I think it was a little bit tight. So using my best judgment, recognizing this, how my hips feeling and kind of just how I felt in the past with different things, dropped that 4th rep and split it up into 2x2. Third 5K 19:26, average heart rate 163. Short recovery 3:40, 8:35 average. So again, small walk and jog, get the heart rate back down, reset. And then into 2x2K, rep 1, 7:47, 3:53 average heart rate 162. And decided on a 2-minute float recovery here, 8:21 average. So again, just a little bit of a walk and jog, get the heart rate back down. Into rep 2. So this is the second of the 2x2. 7:46, so 3:53 average. Into a short cool down, 12:24. Very easy walk jog, so 5:57. So overall, still a great session, considering a little bit crook in the throat, little hips and stuff feeling a bit tight, and kind of pushing the limit a little bit with that. And this could have kind of gone either way, I think. Could have put me in a hole, or I could have come out of it not feeling too bad. So it was kind of just using my best judgment to weigh up that kind of risk versus reward, and I kind of decided to go through with it, using that judgment and just how I know how this kind of injury develops and feels. So did that. So I ended up with an hour 52, 25.1K, 429 average, and felt pretty well for the remainder of the day. So like in the past, when I've done these kind of sessions under a bit of fatigue and an inkling that I could pull up bad, I know within kind of that next couple of hours how it's feeling and kind of what I'm hoping that it will feel like. And I kind of got lucky this day. Didn't feel that shitty, a little bit sore and a little bit tight. So that was good to be able to still squeeze that in. Tuesday afternoon was a short trainer recovery, which I ended up just riding outside. So I just jumped on the roadie and cruised outside for an hour just to spin the legs out. So I'm going to click out of this because there's not much else to go through for the rest of the week. There's no efforts and no real training. So essentially from that Tuesday there, Wednesday woke up, like just waking up in the middle of the night with a crazy sore, dry throat and starting to actually cough by now as well. So waking up Tuesday morning, made that decision to completely drop everything for the day. So hip was not too bad, could have ran on it, no problem, but kind of with the combination of the sickness, the hip, and in addition to that, work was quite busy that week with heaps of extra catering orders. It was a bit of a no-brainer just to flag the Wednesday and kind of try to reset the body, get everything sorted now rather than continuing to train and put myself in a hole that I may not come out of over the next few weeks, which all that's going to do is just create stress and kind of a shitty feel and not what I'm after at all with this marathon prep. Well, it's not what I'm after at all with anything. It's just shitty to kind of be in that cycle of never feeling 100%, kind of almost getting 100%, and then just doing a training session which kind of just puts you back into that hole. So I really wanted to just rest and recover and make sure I was good by the end of the week so I could restart this week kind of feeling fresh, healthy, and approach the last 4 weeks with confidence. Each day was just a kind of a bit of just playing it by ear. So kind of made a few little commitments to at least get up for a ride in the morning, start and at least keep jogging a little bit. Wednesday afternoon, I had a massage, which was amazing. So I felt a bit sore and tender on Thursday morning. So I went for an easy ride for a couple of hours and then an easy jog on the treadmill on Thursday afternoon. Friday, completely had the whole day off of everything. Just wiped it all. So Saturday morning, went out for a couple of hours on the bike. Sunday morning, did the same, went out for an easy ride and an easy run. So by Sunday, starting to feel better again. Hips coming good and I'm feeling pretty good. So that was the whole goal of the rest of that week. It went from my biggest planned week of training to actually my smallest week worth of training that I'd kind of done in the last couple of months or so. So it's crazy how that kind of happens unplanned, but you kind of got to just accommodate these things and work through them. So I feel like I've done a great job of working through that. And it set me up really well for this week. Last week ended up with, I still did 8 hours on the bike. Just easy pedaling, but only ran 37 Ks of initially 114 planned. So a big drop in run mileage, but kind of probably needed 4 or 5 weeks out for a few days, 5 days there, just to completely reset the body and approach this last couple of weeks with confidence and just a good mindset for it all, knowing that I've worked through a bit of stuff. So that lets us move into this week now. Starting Monday morning, we'll click through this week just like we normally do. So I should point out that in addition to rest, I kind of, a few extra measures I've been taking is like no booze. So just completely stopped any kind of booze. So not that I ever drank a lot, but I'd enjoy a beer here and there. So cut the booze out, stopped that completely, and kind of just replaced it with good hydration and really good food. So I've increased my calorie intake. I'm trying to eat quite a bit more. No booze, immediately refuel and straight after session. So it's something that you kind of can just overlook as you get a bit too confident with what you're doing, overlook the little things. So I know that I've been pretty bad for immediately eating right after a big session. So I've made sure I've been doing that, getting some good protein and carbs straight back in the body after a big session. So that's making a difference. Focusing on my sleep. So not having the booze or not having any beers and stuff really helps with a good sleep. So using the Oura ring to track my sleep and ensure that I'm getting good sleep and it's an amazing tool to have. And also just been doing daily or every other day basic band work to strengthen those hip muscles and ensure that they're all working and getting stronger. Because I think that, yeah, overlooking that a little bit as well kind of could be a cause of the flare up. So, well, actually, is a cause of the flare up because this week now that I've just finished has been my highest run week of the block. So, all while still trying to rebuild that muscle. And I'm sitting here on Sunday with it feeling far better than it was last Sunday, whilst I've still ran the most miles that I've ran all week, all block. So there is actually something in that you need to just not overlook, I think. So let's crack into Monday morning. All right, Monday morning, easy recovery ride. So even though last week was pretty much a write-off, I just approached this week as I had planned and just kind of tried to build my way into the week. I made a few little changes on the fly, depending on how I was feeling, but overall, I accomplished everything that I really wanted to. And I just didn't try to really force anything. So Monday morning, easy recovery ride, 90 minutes, average heart rate 112, average power 155. Monday afternoon, ride home from work. Monday afternoon again, easy jog. So I've just slowed my jogging right down. Planned 6K, completed 6K, 517 average. Average heart rate 130. And then focused on some recovery. So band work, stretching, foam rolling. Tuesday morning, another recovery ride. Just continuing to move. Completed hour 43, normalized power 169, average heart rate 149. So this was all outside, easy ride outside, just cruising. So using the bike as a tool to keep fitness and without stressing the body too much. Tuesday afternoon, ride home from work. Tuesday afternoon, 10K. So planned 10Ks, completed 10K, average pace 514, average heart rate 133. So just continuing to monitor symptoms and see how my hip's feeling on a daily basis. So just keeping a real close check on it. And I wouldn't say that I'm nursing that injury at all. More so, I'm just mindful and very cautious that there's a possibility that if I become a little bit too complacent, I could end up in that hole. So just been very, very mindful and still taking that approach of kind of just happy to drop things if I need to or readjust on the fly. So Tuesday afternoon, 10Ks, 514, average heart rate 133, jogging. Wednesday morning, 10K, average pace 507, average heart rate 133. So lots of jogging. Wednesday afternoon, this was on the treadmill. Completed 6K at 539 average heart rate 129. So this was a little strides session. So easy jogging for 5K, and then I think I ended up doing 5 by 20-second strides. So just cranking up the treadmill as fast as it could go, which is only 16 on my treadmill, and just kind of building up to that pace, holding it for 20 seconds, and then having a good minute walk recovery in between. So that's kind of the first bit of effort I've put into the hip and to the body, stretching those legs out for over a week. So I had a session planned on Thursday morning, so I didn't want to just go straight into that session not having kind of at least stretched my legs out a little bit. So I like the stride session for that. It kind of stretches those muscles out, but it's such a short effort that it doesn't do any damage. So average heart rate 129 on the treadmill. Thursday morning. All right. So originally planned 4x5K for this session as well. Though after attempting the 4x5K the previous week and just realizing that it's probably a bit too much, like it's a big session and it could kind of put you in that, like the risk versus reward, I just think kind of isn't quite there. So the risk of pulling up sore and injured is too high for kind of the reward that you're going to get out of it. So I changed this one to 2 by 5K and then 3 by 2K. So 16Ks worth of marathon pace for a total of 24.5K. So let's analyze this one. So I met up with Ashley on this Thursday morning, and very, very similar to just any of my other sessions that I'd kind of done with these 5K efforts at marathon pace. So good warm up, 20 minutes, 5:13 average heart rate 130, 5K rep number 1. So being mindful of my hip again, I wanted to hit a good pace, but definitely not overdo it. So I erred on the side of caution for this session and just wanted to lock in 4-minute Ks and tick that off for each of these efforts. So rep 1, 5K, 359 average heart rate 157. Easy recovery between 422 at 537s. Rep 2, 5K at 1953, so 359s again, average heart rate 160. Easy between 429 at 523 average. Yeah, really wanted to, like, these efforts were actually quite easy. I'm going to say easy. I didn't feel like I was having to push. I didn't have to feel like I was sloppy at all. So just locked it in. It felt strong and felt comfortable. So really starting to get on top of that injury with the band work and stuff. And it's actually probably doing better for me now because those hips and everything are starting to strengthen up quite nicely. So these actually felt very, very comfortable. And I wasn't concerned about overdoing much midway through this. I kind of just felt confident with it, so that was a great feeling. So then after 2 by 5K, 3 by 2K, rep 1, 759, so bang on 4 minute per K, average heart rate 159. Rep 2, 752, 356 average heart rate 159. And then rep 3, 757, 359 average heart rate 161. So very happy with that session, and more importantly, very happy to pull up well afterward. A little bit tired in the hips, but overall wasn't any niggling or nagging feelings, just kind of a bit of tiredness, which in the past I've realized that tiredness is kind of a better thing to have than, a bit of a strain or whatever it is. So just felt a bit tired in those hip muscles, but pulled up well throughout the day. Cruised around work, no problem. Still just being mindful of it all. So for that session, so that was a great session. Very happy with that. Completed hour 49, 24.5K at 427 average heart rate 147. So wearing the Hoka Mach 5 for that session, which I've realizing is a great shoe and I thoroughly enjoy running in it. Great for kind of that marathon pace stuff. No carbon plate, so kind of having to work probably a bit harder than you would in a carbon shoe or a super shoe, but feels great. So that was Thursday afternoon, easy spin on the trainer. Like, this was proper easy, 30 minutes, normalized power 154, average heart rate 118. So literally just trying to spin and stretch those legs out. Friday morning, planned recovery ride. So right after that session, day after, just trying to flag it and take a nice easy day. Completed an hour and 3, planned 90 minutes, did an hour and 3, and then spent 30 minutes sitting down drinking coffee instead. Normalized power 152, average heart rate 106. So very, very easy Friday morning. Friday afternoon, ride home from work. More time again with the foam roller and the band. So essentially I've been doing this every single day, though I've only planned for it in Training Peaks a couple of days a week. But essentially I've done the same thing every single day, 15 to 20 minutes. And it is actually making a huge difference. So it's amazing what kind of that 15 or 20 minutes can do to really focus on that recovery. So that was Friday afternoon. By this time, Friday afternoon, my hip is like 99.99%. There's just still that little tiniest bit in there that I just wanted to get rid of. So instead of running this easy 30 minutes, I went for a walk instead. And like, it's just so close to being 100% again. And I'm just so mindful of it. It's almost frustrating, actually, that it's just like so close. Trying to be smart and ensure that I'm at that start line at Gold Coast 100% healthy. So this is hard to do. 40-minute walk, 3.4K. Just still wanted to get out and move, so I did that instead. Saturday morning, medium long run. I went and did park run and just cruised really hard. So hour 25 completed for 16.3K, average heart rate 126. Just jogging as easy as I possibly could, essentially. Still a small amount of discomfort in the hip. It's just lingering, and it's just like getting so close to being perfect. So I kind of just weighing it up each day of I need to keep moving and keep jogging, and hopefully by just continually jogging and being good, eventually it'll come 100%. Just trying to do whatever I can to not kind of go backwards, because where it's at now is fine, and I'm happy to keep doing that. Just don't want to go backwards anymore. So just weighing things up each day. This was just a very easy run. It was kind of no different to the day before. So I was like, I can't just have another day off. So I went out and ran, and I still wanted to get some good Ks in for the week. So Saturday morning, hour 25, 5:14 average, 126 heart rate. Nothing else on Saturday. And then this morning, planned 36K, ended up doing 30 at 5:15s, average heart rate 122. So again, just cruising as easy as I could. Just went as long as I could until I started to feel a bit fatigued and tired, because I feel like it's when I start to feel a bit fatigued and tired, that's when I'm going to do that damage. So jog, 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 jog. I knew that if I did 25Ks, I'd get 100K for the week. And so I was happy to call it there. So I ran 25, reassessed, and then decided, no, I'm good. I can get through another 5 without doing any further damage. And it was about 28, 29 where it was like I just started to feel that bit of fatigue and stuff. So overall, perfect. 2 hours, 37, 30Ks, average heart rate 122. So that gives me a total of 106K for the week. So very happy with that on a week where I've come off a complete down week with a little bit of sickness and a little bit of a nag and hip niggle that could have flared up into something ridiculous like it has in the past. But experience is prevailing here. I'm well aware of that, and I'm able to change my program and get back to those basics a little bit more and actually get on top of it while still building my volume. So I'm very happy with that, and I'm really, really happy with how I sit here now on Sunday after that week. And without, I could have been completely fucked. So like, holding yourself accountable is hard, but I've been there enough times now where I've just fucked myself 3 or 4 weeks out from an event from just being dumb. So I think I'm a new person, and being able to recognize these things and make changes and not just drive myself into the ground is a great thing. So I'm holding myself accountable with these videos, and kind of, I didn't want to sit here today and like have to bang on about I fucked myself. So I wanted to sit here today and be like, I've worked through it and it's good. So it just goes to show that, like, for the sake of probably 5 days all up, it's completely changed the way that I feel like I'm training. So what I mean is, like, for the sake of taking 5 days easy, like, it's completely turned my block around from potentially being fucked and putting myself into a hole to like now feeling positive 3 weeks out from my first marathon, healthy and still building good volume. So it's very, very important that long consistency trumps a couple of good weeks of training. So just long consistency, continually training right through, like, even when you're not preparing for an event, just continually moving and keeping your body healthy. So that way, when it comes to the point where your load's high and you need to take a few forced rest days, you can do it comfortably without feeling like you're going backwards. It kind of sucks having that feeling like you need to cram and you don't have enough time to get ready. But the way I train is I kind of allow myself that time to have some unplanned rest days or even a whole week and still be healthy and fit when I need to be. So 3 weeks out from Gold Coast now, feeling good, still not 100%, probably 99.5 after that long run today. A bit of tightness in the quad that I'm going to sort out the Savi. Next week I've got a massage on the Wednesday again. And I've pretty much just essentially planned to jog right through next week until the Sunday. And I'm going to try put in a good race session in on the Sunday, which will be 2 weeks out. Once I tick that one off. So once I tick that one off, it'll be down to 2 weeks out and essentially just trying to ease back the load and really, really get on top of everything to ensure that come race week, I'm 100% and ready to go. So that's that week, 15 and a half hours complete. Still going to jump on the train of the Savi for 30 minutes. So we're going to end up with 16 hours complete, 106 Ks on the legs. So excellent. I hope that was a decent video. It's hard to, I kind of probably rambled a bit, but there was kind of so much to kind of talk through. If there's anything in particular that you want me to kind of go to more detail on, I'd be happy to do a whole video just on that. So let me know. But otherwise, so let's check back in next Sunday. Hoping to get a bit more training footage this week again. But with so much happening over the last couple of weeks, I kind of just put that aside and just focused on getting my sessions done in a way that was positive for me. So as always, like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you here next Sunday as well.